Hello students, this is Ismail and today we are going to discuss few important topics of sexual reproduction in flowering plants, second chapter in 12th CBSE and second PUC. So here is the first question: attractants and rewards are required for. See, this is the question related to pollination and in abiotic pollinators where agents are required. If the pollination is taken place with the help of insects, such pollination is called as entomophily. In order to attract insects, the flower is colorful with nectar and with fragrant. So those are the attractants and rewards required for pollination by insects, which is called as entomophily. Now let us come to dioecious flower. Dioecious flower is also called as unisexual flower. For example, papaya. As you can see in unisexual flower, you can find either male reproductive structure or female reproductive structure. So as it has only one type of sexual reproductive structure, so definitely it does not carry autogamy, and also it is not responsible for geitonogamy also. Autogamy in the sense self-pollination, as the flower is unisexual, so it is not possible for self-pollination, and also geitonogamy as the plant is unisexual, so geitonogamy in the sense the transfer of pollen grains from one flower to another flower of the same plant. As in the plant unisexual flowers are there, so geitonogamy also not responsible. Now, functional megaspore. In angiosperm, the functional megaspore develops into embryo sac. Embryo sac is also called as megagametophyte. So this is a functional megaspore and it is developed from megaspore mother cell. Okay. So after meiosis, we can get only one functional megaspore, and this functional megaspore ultimately converts to embryo sac. So we can say a functional megaspore in an angiosperm develops into embryo. Our next question is related to apomixis, and apomixis, as you know, it is the formation of seed without fertilization. It is like mimicking sexual reproduction, but actually it is a asexual reproduction. Then here you can see this is stamen having filament and anther. The proximal end, this is the proximal end of the filament of the stamen. It is basically attached to thalamus or to the petal. Now let us come to the coconut water from tender coconut. As we can see in double fertilization, primary endosperm nucleus is going to form due to the double fertilization. Now that primary endosperm nucleus undergo division to produce free nuclear structures. Those free nuclear endosperm will be a coconut water from tender coconut, and afterwards there will be a formation of cell wall around the nucleus that will be considered as cellular endosperm, which is equivalent to white kernel of the coconut. Now cotyledon of maize. Maize is monocot, and cotyledon in maize is equivalent to scutellum. Then the ovule in angiosperm, the ovule, anatropous ovule structure you can see here. The ovule, this is ovule, anatropous ovule, also considered as megasporangium. So the question here is the ovule in angiosperm technically equivalent to megasporangium. Megasporangium nothing but ovule. Now this is the structure of pollen grain, which is considered as male gametophyte. As you can see in the pollen grain, there is one vegetative cell and one generative cell. So this generative cell further undergo mitosis to produce two male gametes. The two male gametes we can simply consider as two sperms. So our next question here is male gametophyte, in the sense pollen grain in angiosperm produces two male gametes or two sperms and one vegetative cell. Then the filiform apparatus in embryo sac. As you can see in embryo sac, at the micropylar end there are two synergids are there surrounding the egg. So in the synergids, in the synergids we can find a special structure called filiform apparatus. Basically these filiform apparatus are going to guide the pollen tube during fertilization. So filiform apparatus are the characteristics of synergids. Now pollen tablet, some species pollen grains are very nutritive, very rich in food. So in the market the pollen tablets available as supplementing the food. Then advantage of cleistogamy. Cleistogamy in the sense closed flower. Okay, so the flower remains closed, and so here there is no requirement of any pollinators within the flower itself. Pollination, closed flower itself, pollination is going to self pollination is going to occur. So in cleistogamy, no dependent on pollinators. So as you can see the structure of pollen grain, the outer layer is called as exine, which is made up of a chemical called sporopollenin, and this is the most resistant chemical, exine, made up of sporopollenin, and this sporopollenin cannot be degraded by any enzyme. And intine is the inner layer of the pollen grain, which is made up of cellulose and pectin. So our next question related to sporopollenin, an organic substance that can withstand environmental extremes and cannot be degraded by the enzyme, is sporopollenin. The next question is, male gametes in angiosperms are formed by the division of generative cell. As you can see here, the generative cell undergo division to produce two male gametes. Next question is, which of the following is surrounded by callose wall? Callose basically is a chemical that you can find in microspore mother cell. Microspore mother cell or pollen mother cell present in the anther. They are diploid in nature. They undergo microsporogenesis, means due to meiosis they are going to produce microspore, haploid microspore. And this microspore mother cell actually covered by a layer called callose. Okay, so microspores are available in the form of microspore tetrad. Further they dissociate to produce 4 pollen grains, means from one microspore mother cell we can get 4 pollen grains. So we can say which of the following is surrounded by callose wall. It is microspore mother cell or pollen mother cell. Now our next question is the arrangement of nuclei in normal embryo sac. Okay, as you can see the normal embryo sac, you can see at the micropylary end 2 haploid cells are there. 3 haploid cells are there, egg and 2 synergids, then followed by a central cell which having 2 polar nuclei, and at the chalaza end you can find 3 antipodals. These are also haploid nuclei. So the number of nuclei in mature embryo sac includes 3 plus 2 plus 3. So the next question is the arrangement of nuclei in the normal embryo sac in dicot plant is 3 plus 2 plus 3. 3 is egg apparatus, 2 polar nuclei and 3 antipodals. Next question is, what could be the number of chromosomes in the cells of aleuron layer? See, I'll tell you the aleuron layer. Aleuron layer is a part of endosperm. Aleuron layer is a part of endosperm. In a plant species with 8 chromosomes in its synergids. So synergids, as we know, synergids are haploid. So 8 chromosomes are there in the synergids. Now endosperm, as we know, endosperm is the product of double fertilization and they are triploid, 1 male gamete and 2 polar nuclei. So as aleuron layer is a part of the endosperm which is triploid, if haploid is 8, then triploid is 8 3s are 24 is the answer. Now how many pollen grains will formed after meiotic division in 10 microspore mother cell? In 10 microspore mother cell, as I already told you, from 1 microspore mother cell we can get 4 pollen grains. So we can say that how many pollen grains will be formed after the meiotic division of 10 microspore mother cell. So from 1 microspore mother cell 4 pollen grains we can get. So definitely 10 microspore mother cell we will get 40 pollen grains. Now fertilization involving carrying a male gamete by pollen tube. Pollen tube carries the male gamete. Such type of fertilization is called as a siphonogamy. Now last question is entry of pollen tube. Entry of pollen tube through the micropyle during fertilization. So through the micropyle end, the pollen tube carrying the 2 male gamete is going to enter. Okay, so such type of process is called as porogamy. I hope you all understood. Remaining questions we are going to discuss in the next class. Thank you.